Morning everybody, Mrs O'Brien here from home, as we all are, taking care of each other and keeping safe and well. But I'm missing you so much that I thought I would share some stories with you. And the first one I'm going to share with you is this one. It's Evie and the Animals by Matt Haig. We shared an extract of this on World Book Day and used it to inspire us to write our own animal stories. So I'm going to share a few chapters of this book with you each day, and I hope that you tune into the blog and just listen to the story and we'll enjoy it together. So here we go. Evie and the Animals, Chapter 1, A Special Child. Once there was a girl called Evie Trench. Evie was not a normal child, she was a special child. That's what her dad said, special. Evie often thought it would be easier to be a normal child than a special child, but there you go, she was special. And the reason for this was, well, it was complicated. Evie didn't really understand it herself. Before we get into her specialness, let's start with a simple fact. Evie liked animals. Of course, lots of people like animals, but Evie liked all animals, not only cuddly ones. She liked dogs and cats, yes of course, but she also liked cockroaches and snakes and bats and vultures and hyenas and sharks and jellyfish and green anaconda snakes. She liked every animal. Well, apart from the Brazilian wandering spider, the deadliest spider in the world, which even Evie found hard to love. The reason for this will become clear. But as a general rule, if it lived, she liked it. She knew everything about the animal world, as much as anyone. There were probably professors of animal biology at extremely clever universities who knew less than her. By the time she was 6 years old, she had read more than 300 books on the subject. Every time she felt worried or scared or bored, she would sit and read a book about animals. So she knew a lot. For instance, she knew that snails could sleep for 3 years in a row and slugs have 4 noses. A grizzly bear was so strong that it can crush a bowling ball. Birds don't find chili peppers spicy. All clownfish are born boys. Some turn into girls' clownfish later on. Cats can drink seawater with no problem. An octopus has 3 hearts. A reindeer's eyes turn blue in the winter to help them see in the dark. And elephants are pregnant for nearly 2 years. Underneath their striped fur, tigers have striped skin. And her favourite fact, sea otters hold hands in their sleep so that they don't drift away from each other. Oh, I think that's lovely. But Evie didn't just like animals. She didn't just know all the facts about them. She had a very special skill, a very unusual skill. And the skill was this. She could hear what animals were thinking. And sometimes she could get animals to hear what she was thinking. Without moving her lips or making a sound, Evie could talk to the animals. Evie had no idea how or why she could hear the animals. She just could. And as she got older, it seemed to be happening more and more often. And it was the best thing ever. It was her very own secret superpower. She had only ever told one person she could do this, her dad. And he had said she must never tell anyone about it, ever. You are special, but being special can get you into lots of trouble. Hearing things you hear can lead to bad things. Very bad things, he said. Trust me, you must never tell anyone, and whatever you hear, you must never communicate with the animals. Never talk back to them, with your mind. So she didn't, and no one knew, or so she thought, at least until the day of the rabbit. You enjoying it? I am. I'm going to move on to chapter 2. It's called A Bird Called Beak. The day of the rabbit began with a bird, a sparrow in fact. A sparrow, a small, reddish-brown, ordinary little house sparrow, who was called Beak. Evie had chatted with the sparrow before. Mind chatted, not mouth chatted, but it was still chatting. The bird often came for seeds that Evie left on her windowsill, and Evie secretly picked the seeds off the multi-seeded loaf of bread that her dad used to buy. Evie couldn't always hear the thoughts of animals. Some days she didn't hear the thought of a single creature, but Beak was one of the easiest animals to understand. Not as easy as dogs, but then no creatures were. You seem sad today, Evie, Beak was thinking, nibbling on the seeds as Evie stared at him out of her window. And then Evie showed Beak the photo of her mum that she kept by her bed. I miss her, Beak. I miss my mum too, Beak said. Not with his beak, with his mind. To be fair, I only knew her for a short time, but she seemed great. I never knew mine either. I mean, I can't really remember her. I get all my information from my granny Flora, and Dad, of course, though not as much as you'd think from him. Isn't that strange, to miss things you never really knew? Not at all. I miss my friends I haven't made yet. I have thousands of friends already. We fly around together, but I'm still new, young. I've not lived through a winter yet. There may be many more friends I will make, and I will miss them, because I'm sure they will be special. Evie tried not to feel sad. What's it like to fly, Beak? It's the easiest thing in the world, if you have wings. It's like freedom, to be able to go up and down and side to side and anywhere you want with the wind rushing through your feathers, eating whatever flying insects come into your way. You would like it, Evie? I think I would. Apart from eating insects, there's nothing like being free to be yourself, Beak added. If you have wings, you might as well use them. So I hear. And it was at that moment Dad knocked on her door and pushed it open. Beak's tiny head jerked around. Oh, thought Beak. Come on, Evie. You should be ready for school by now, Evie's dad said as he peeked his head through the door. He noticed the open window and the sparrow flying off into the sky. He also saw the seeds on the windowsill. Evie, what have I told you about taking seeds off the bread to feed the birds? Oh, sorry, Dad. It was just... If I'm not allowed a pet, Were you trying to talk to that bird? Were you trying to talk to him with your mind, I mean? No, Evie lied. She had to. Her dad made it very clear that she would always ignore the voices of the animals that entered her mind because they would lead to very bad things. Look at that, it's in capitals. Lead to very bad things. He thought he didn't tell her what those bad things might be, which was annoying, especially as Evie really did want a pet. I wasn't talking to the bird, she lied again. Good, said her dad. He seemed tired. He'd been working late repairing some other people's furniture in the garage. Maybe he was missing Mum too. It was hard to tell. Evie wished her dad was as easy to understand as a dog. It was a wish she had often. If he could just turn into a dog for a while. If he was a dog, then she would understand him. A big slobbery bloodhound. The thing with dogs is they can't help it. They tell you things. A kind of talking, but not with their mouths the way humans talk. You don't even have to read their minds to realise they're talking all the time. Every wag, every bark, every whimper, every tilt of the head, every soft stare, every breath, every pant is a kind of talking from a dog. It's saying something. Humans aren't often like that. Maybe that's why humans need words. Maybe it's too hard to understand each other without them. And dads, in particular, are one of the hardest, complicated types of animal in existence. Now, he said, school. And we'll finish it there. Sadly for us, there isn't going to be school for a while, but we'll keep in touch. Keep looking at your teachers' blogs, keep doing your schoolwork that we've set you, and soon we'll all be back together. Well, I'll be back tomorrow to read the next few chapters of the book. Stay safe, everybody. Our prayers are with you all. Bye-bye.